Ladies and gentlemen, go to 10ktakesmn.com and go to the shop tab if you want to check out some of our awesome merch, including our famous 10K Takes Gritty Vikings t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, etc. We also got awesome Hawkamania, just like TJ Hawkinson shirts. Of course, we have the I Love Cock, I Love KOC shirt for all you lovers of Kevin O'Connell out there. We also got that in a sweatshirt. We got all this awesome Vikes merch and 10K merch and Twins merch all at 10ktakesmn.com. Go to the shop tab. Check it out today.
On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by Vikings legend, Pro Bowler, comeback player of the year, Tommy Kramer, from his home, the famous house where the Packer urinal lives. So awesome interview with a legend. Tommy, we're also going to go into our bits of the week, as always, including the Timberwolves unveiling jersey, and we're going to end the show by giving our best dad jokes and seeing who delivers the best ones, basically. So all of that and more on It's a Bit.
To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
All right, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by the first full studio we've had in what feels like quite a while. We have producer Cam, journalist Jake, and Wags. Wags, you were in Florida for a wedding. How was that?
It was absolutely fantastic. Saw some dolphins. That was fun. Saw the cow of the sea, a manatee. That was also pretty fun, but it's also hot as shit. I've actually never been in weather that hot. So don't recommend going to Florida in August. Sure, it'd be great any other month of the year, though.
Now, did you see Dolphins or the Miami Dolphins? I don't know why a southern accent felt right, but I just kind of went with it.
Real dolphins. I think bottlenose would be the correct term.
Bottlenose dolphins?
Yes.
Bottles.
Did you see any alligators?
No, but there were some in our area.
They're terrifying.
Yeah, but we were like on the ocean coast, so we wouldn't see too many there. But
Me and my buddy went to Tampa for spring break a couple years ago, and we were just fishing at some random ass pond in the middle of Tampa. And I looked down, and there's just the biggest gator I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, I'm going back home.
I'm sure it was
They're
pretty.
So scary.
I'm sure it is, but I'm sure it was also sick to actually see one in person.
My
jumped in.
My grandparents growing up lived on a golf course in Orlando, and I remember there were ponds all over the course with alligators in them. Mm-hmm. You know, you either just see the tips of their nose, or they just literally sit in the sun and they don't move. Like, that's basically their entire existence. And I remember I hit a ball right next to one of them, and I asked my grandpa, I'm like, what do I do? He goes, well, how bad do you want the ball? And I'm like, I was like a Pro V or something. I'm like a middle school or high school. So, you don't just get Pro Vs for free, or, you don't have the money to buy them. So I took my 3-wood, I sprinted over, got about 5 feet from the gator, swung, hit, literally while I was running, hit the ball, and then sprinted away.
Yeah.
And
was it a good shot?
It wasn't bad. I kept it in bounds, and I didn't get my face bitten off like fucking Happy Gilmore.
Did the gator move at all?
No.
Oh, I would have been shitting
They're so chill, dude. Alligators are like, yeah. What do you mean no?
I've watched Swamp People. They're not chill.
Well, that's because they're fucking trying to kill them.
I know.
Well,
golf course alligators need to be chill, probably.
The golf course alligators, are basically like golf course geese. Like, they just... Yeah, they're so domesticated.
They just shit everywhere.
I remember
you don't bother them, they don't bother you.
I remember seeing a clip on tour where a golfer just walked right up and just tapped it on the backside and would just go right in the water real quick.
Yeah, that was funny because it was some golf tournament in Florida, and they're like, there are two types of people, and the one guy sees it and he sprints away and he's running on his tiptoes like a little girl, and then the second guy just walks up behind it, smacks it in the tail, and the thing runs in the water. So, yeah, there are two types of people.
No thanks.
Yeah, dude,
they terrify me.
The coldest it was the 4 days I was there was 90 degrees, and that was middle of the night.
And it probably rained every day.
No, it didn't rain once, but it was extremely humid the whole time. Again, 2-minute walk, you probably lose 6 pounds.
Yeah,
I've only been to Florida once. Do they have this is probably a stupid question. How bad are the mosquitoes in Florida?
They weren't bad at all.
Huh. I wonder
Again,
why.
I'm sure if you're in the Everglades, it's a whole different story. But when you're on the coast, like I was, I didn't get bit the whole time.
It's just weird.
That's awesome. You didn't see anyone get killed by sharks?
That was the one thing I wanted to see.
Oh.
No.
Did you see the ass print in the sand from Tom Brady when he made his retirement video?
I didn't.
Remember when there was a guy claiming that he had sand he had a picture too of Tom's ass cheeks in the sand, and he's sand recovered from Tom Brady's retirement video on the beach.
100K on
eBay.
Which could have been from any beach.
Did it sell?
I probably not.
Some person on this planet probably bought it.
I remember Skull Vikes when he was at the Super Bowl, the Twitter account, he literally grabbed some of the ground from the Super Bowl that Tom Brady was in and sold it on eBay for quite a bit of money.
His last game, I think it was.
Yeah, his last game, which is, again, that's super smart.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's funny. They still sell turf from the Metrodome. In if you go to some of those memorabilia stores in the Mall of America, I remember you could buy seats from the Metrodome.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like for a stadium that's still active, I'm pretty sure that's not legal.
No, I don't think they want you tearing up their grass. No.
Yeah.
I remember the last game at the Metrodome. People were just literally yanking seats out of the stadium.
Yeah. That's kind of a dream of mine now. Is I want to be at a stadium when it's the last game there, so that I can just purposely steal something and just probably get away with it, because it's this is all going to get torn with a fucking wrecking ball anyways.
Well, my grandparents have had season tickets since '97, and which is how I got into it. But they got their seats from the Metrodome, from their season tickets. I think they encouraged it, just take it now or we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people started taking them now because people are fucking hijacking them, I'm sure.
They also have the bricks, right? Bricks from every
Yeah.
season ticket, because my grandpa was a season ticket owner for 3 decades, and I think his name is on one of those bricks.
The thing that's stupid now, though, is that the Vikings used to send us a bunch of shit for season tickets, and now they don't send anything.
They sent a scarf, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see what Raiders fans got for season tickets?
That
They
was
got
just about to
box.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the box with the animate. It was basically a Stanley Cup ring box
Mhm.
that the Avalanche got 2 years ago, where there's a play and there's all these animations and graphics, and the Vikings fans are like, "Hey, cool box, we have a scarf."
And then every year we get a scarf or something small like that, and then a Christmas card that says "Well wishes" was signed to Ziggy Wolf. It's basically just a middle finger.
Which is not him signing.
Which makes sense though, because whenever because we're quote unquote influencers, the Vikings will send us merch and stuff, promotional stuff all the time, and there's a lot of season ticket holders who literally on every single post we do comment, "Would be nice if the Vikings gave this a season ticket."
I know.
Yeah, they don't even send it.
I know.
Which is
maybe
fine,
you should become an influencer.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
We work hard to be in the sports market. We work hard to put out memes where it's screenshots of porn saying, "Oh, only 3 more." And that's basically when we were on the end zone and 3rd and goal and just couldn't get in. And we work hard to get to that point.
Meanwhile, Larry, who has lower level season tickets, I also spend $20,000 a year.
Without food, that doesn't count food, drinks, and gas to drive from Alexandria every week.
Yeah. But
Tailgate
that's on
spot
him.
too if he has
Yeah,
one.
dude.
There's people that live in fucking Washington that have season tickets for the Vikings. They just
Yeah.
fly every week.
Well,
Or
insane.
drive maybe.
become an influencer.
Why not?
Yeah.
You got to become an influencer. They're paying. It's on them that they want to drive all the way this far to the games and pay that much.
Yeah.
So-
I always love my dad's reasoning about when he says he doesn't like going to games. He's like, "Well, Jack, I got a front row seat on the couch. The bathroom's right there. I don't have to wait in line to get a $10 beer because the fridge is right there.
Parking's free.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, speaking of dad jokes later in the show, that is the most dad thing ever, is to explain why it's great to watch the game at home and then just proceed to talk about your house and its basic layout and why it's better than a stadium. It's well, I think there's more to it than that, but yes, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
While we're talking about the Vikings really quick, we're down to preseason. What'd you guys think?
Jordan-
Preseason game. Sorry.
Jordan Addison's sick. That was a catch, 100%. That was a catch. Both toes were down. I'm super excited to see what he's going to do for the rest of the year. But it was awesome to get football back.
Yeah, I'm not excited to see. I hope this isn't foreshadowing the reffing situation for the upcoming year. So I'm already pissed off at the refs. By the way, I think Nick Mullins is QB1. I think he's decided. I think that's been decided after 1 week in the preseason. Honestly,
I saw Bubba on Twitter just tweet, "If Nick Mullins is the starter, I'm going to kill myself."
well, he's wrong because you know what? Nick Mullins he looked good, and
Yeah.
then Jaron Hall is a solid backup.
We have one of the best backup QBs in the league with Nick Mullins.
No.
Yes, Jaron Hall's the backup now because it's Nick Mullins is number 1.
Is it Jaron or Jared?
Jaron
In
N-E-N.
Jaron Hall.
I would say
who's that Jared Hall?
All right, Jake, I'll go fuck myself. No, I'm just kidding. I would say that Addison is him, and that was for sure a catch. But Ty Chandler is RB2. You don't need to sign a running back. That guy is electric. And Ivan Pace, the undrafted linebacker, who is undersized, he's electric as well.
Same with Walmart TJ Hawkinson.
Nick Muse.
Nick Muse did have a great catch, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nick Muse.
He's not making the what's his face? KOC came out already and said that Cox said that Johnny Munt is already tight end 3.
Fuck yeah.
And so you have the two. There's obviously 2 other tight ends before him, but so Nick Muse is not making the team.
Do they ever keep 4?
Rarely.
Oh, the Bears kept like 8 at one point.
That was their strategy for some reason.
It's rare that they do, but they actually might because I've heard they want to do a lot of 2 tight end sets this whole year. So
yeah, but at the same time, why? You have I don't know. It depends.
Maybe you have Ollie in hockey. What more?
I'd assume
better than
it's
that?
something to do with their O-line and probably getting more blockers in there. But who knows?
I will tell you, my panic meter is fucking alerted now about the T.J. Hawkinson thing.
Oh, we got a
terrified.
month. We got a month before the season.
Well,
So what? Yeah, what happened
We'll be
again?
So the thing is,
He's got like
T.J.
an ear
Hawkinson
infection?
hasn't been practicing, and a lot of people were speculating it's because he's due for a contract, and it's like a hold-in type scenario without them actually publicizing it, unlike the Colts do.
Yeah.
And we're all like, I'm like, that is a contract issue
Because it's a new injury every single day.
Yeah,
it seems
well,
like.
especially he just came out and said, "Well, I've had a really bad ear infection, and it's messing up my equilibrium, so I can't practice." Meanwhile, the guy just was seen playing golf multiple times.
Yeah.
It scares me. Sign him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but doesn't the president do that like every 4 years? Like we just track how many rounds of golf they played rather than working. I think that's normal for someone of fame and high stature is just to play golf instead of work.
Right, but it's just weird. Like you say, your equilibrium is not good to do to practice, but you'll go play golf.
Could be an excuse for sure, but
I think it is.
I don't know.
But I think either way they'll extend him because KOC, he did say like because they've been bringing a bunch of veterans in. He's like our main priority right now is extending Hawkinson.
I would fucking hope so after the season he had last year.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah.
Extend Hawkinson, extend Jefferson, and then do whatever you want.
Yeah, because this is his. They exercise his 5th year option, so this is his 5th year. He has no contract next year,
And
so
he's
he doesn't.
a UFA.
So he doesn't want to get hurt. He wants that security long term.
they're not gonna let him go. He's another receiver out there. Like,
yeah, but NFL players are divas, and if you don't extend him before the beginning of the year, it might be too late.
they'll extend him. There's no way they would.
I hope they do. But
They would just give up. They would give up Josh Oliver right away if they had to re-sign T.J.
I
Hawkinson.
don't. It's I mean, you're not wrong.
But by the way,
because he's a way better pass catcher in the end.
Well, paying Josh Oliver $7 million a year isn't helping the situation either.
You-
So.
We'll keep him.
I actually don't like that.
Priority
be
2.
fine.
Okay, so priority 1, re-sign Hawkinson. Priority
Hockey.
2, make Ryan Wright fatter.
Yes.
He came into that game looking way skinnier than I would like him to look.
Priority 3, win the Super Bowl.
True.
Yeah, with
Third
Nick
priority.
Mullins.
Yeah, with Nick Mullins as quarterback.
We don't need
You just
to
hate
take
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins
Cousins.
now? You just hate Kirk now?
No, we can give him a break.
Imagine having
Maybe
this
half a season.
on your bingo card, almost like a big dick. I was calling Nick Mullins Big Dick Nick in my THC video, but I was saying, imagine this on your bingo card for the Super Bowl. You have like a situation where Johnny Munt is taking the snap and he throws it to Nick Mullins in the corner of the end zone for a Philly special.
The mini special.
That'd be
Nick
sick.
Mullins
It'll be
special.
the mini special.
No.
But
The mini special.
No
I don't know.
thanks.
you never know.
We got preseason this Saturday.
Yep.
To
number
try it.
2 against
Try it.
Tennessee.
10 IC.
You are the only 10 I see.
Oh,
Haha,
what?
dad jokes.
What?
Do you guys hear
Listen.
what Vrabel's doing this year for preseason? It's fucking genius. He's letting some of his coordinators be the head coach just to see what it would be like, rather than having a situation like what happened in Denver with what's his name?
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, where it's a disaster. It's like, okay, before this guy tells me, he wants to be a head coach someday, let's see how he handles himself in a preseason game, rather than allowing him to get into a position where he could get snagged by another team and then completely fuck it up and be the laughingstock for a year.
Is that the reasoning behind it? Is that what he said?
I don't know if that's what he said. I think he's just being kind of a good boss. And he's
Yeah.
like, listen, if you want to be a head coach someday, I'll give you a trial run. Like, God knows that Vrabel has coached enough games. He doesn't need to coach every preseason game.
It's also a good exercise for him too. Like
Right.
if you're going to be you're going to be a better coordinator by knowing you can coach the entire team.
And
and know
it's
the
a
ins
good
and outs.
exercise for Vrabel because he can see it from a different point of view.
Exactly.
That is
That's
genius.
another good
I'm
exercise.
surprised teams have. This is the first time I've heard of someone doing this, like a team doing
Well,
this.
the preseason's evolved from not playing your starters almost the entirety of the preseason. Now that's going to be a new trend where you're not even going to see the head coach coaching.
Do you remember last year though? It was even like the Cardinals just they gave Kyler Murray a chance to call offensive plays during
Yeah.
the preseason game just because they wanted him to see what it was like to be a coach. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, the
to
teams are being
understand
more
things
and more
better.
creative when it comes to the
They
preseason.
also grounded him.
Yeah, they did for not doing his homework.
Playing too much Call of Duty.
Yeah.
The Titans thing is genius, and I'm very happy because I just placed a future bet on the Titans to win the AFC South today. So Vrabel's doing it right. I'm comfortable now.
Richardson's
think-
gonna take that title.
I think if they're not going to play Kirk, and I think he might play. I think actually in this second, he typically plays in like the second preseason game.
He's been held out of like all.
They might say
preseason.
that they might hold him out.
He's too popular now, but he should be the head coach for a preseason game. Imagine
Well,
Kirk as head coach.
So there are
That'd be
teams.
great.
There are teams who have already announced that they're not playing any starters during the first 4 weeks. Like I believe the Chargers came out and said we're not starting any offensive starters for the entire preseason. Can you imagine if this escalates to like the first 4 weeks, and then 30 years down the road when we're in our 50s, 60s, it's like, oh yeah, the starters don't play till the playoffs.
Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, they just don't
Yeah,
play.
exactly.
Sorry, they
Pay
get paid all
Patrick
this money.
Mahomes $500 million, and he doesn't even play it because their backup is bad.
Before we know it, and they just create a new league for the guys who aren't playing, which just becomes the NFL again, and then it's just a horrible cycle.
I got
Or you have
scared.
like the minors.
I misunderstood what you said at first. I thought you said the Chargers said that no one is playing for the first 4 weeks of the regular season.
No,
I'm like,
no.
What?
It could
No,
turn
I'm
into
saying,
that.
I'm saying
No.
I'm saying it used to be like the starters would play half the game. Like I feel like when we were growing up, you'd see
Yeah.
the starter play
Almost the
a
entire
good amount of the game.
sometimes.
And we've already escalated to the starters don't even play until week 1. There could be a scenario where you don't see the starters come out week 1 because it's like, well, what if he gets hurt week 1 and he's out for the year?
Well, you look
We're
at
fucked.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets now. He's a veteran quarterback in that situation, similar to what Brett Favre was when he came to us, or even when he went to the Jets. Like Aaron Rodgers is not going to he's not even going to sniff to be even close to taking a snap.
No.
And then I remember Brett Favre. We had played him half a game. I think almost every preseason game when he came here. It was insane.
Load
about-
management.
Yep.
Do we see Dalvin Cook starting in the next game for the Jets? I mean, he's probably pretty rusty. He could use a few snaps.
They'll probably put him in because he hasn't been training a little bit as much.
He's
but
not even cleared for practice yet.
Oh.
Yeah, because of his off-season surgery. He can't even practice for at least another week.
Has he cleared team physical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Oh.
official, but like he can't practice yet.
I would think that Brees Hall still has a pretty rusty ACL, speaking of rusty.
Yeah.
Brees Hall's going to start on the pup now.
Yeah.
There's no way they sign Cook without Brees. Like, he'll be on the pup. But when he comes back, that's like a Kareem Hunt Nick Chubb duo. I said that on 10K bets last night. That's going to be sick.
And that's
And
what
they're going to
that's,
win the Super Bowl.
That's what Cook really needs too. He needs just someone else to take half the load for him. I think he'd still be really good at the end of the year. He's been having way too much
Dude,
load.
speaking of Brees Hall, I feel like there was someone on this podcast who said that he was a bad pick.
No, but remember I said he was a great pick, and I was right. I said that
What?
to you. No, when you picked him,
Someone told me he was a bad pick.
it wasn't me.
I swear to God it was you.
No, I said it was a good pick, and it worked
He's
out.
backpedaling.
Maybe I said it was bad.
I think you
don't
said
know.
it was bad right
Maybe
when I did it.
did.
You're
I
like,
think
did you
during the
fucking pick
time-
Brees Hall? And I
we
was like,
argued.
Oh, I did.
We argued about it on the
because
podcast.
I think you picked him in like the second round.
You
or
thought
something
that was
like
too
that.
high
I thought
for
it
a
was
rookie?
too early. That's what it was. And he was great for 7 games, and I think he's him.
Yeah, he
But
fucked over one of my. Well, I shouldn't say he fucked over, but it was a reason why one of my fantasy teams went to hell.
if I'm Dalvin though,
Yeah, it sucks.
you are right, Zane. Like Dalvin, I think could still be a bell cow for 2 years, but it's a smart thing to have another guy there. Then you're going to get more years. You're gonna
Exactly,
get more money.
yeah.
You might as well.
Delvin.
And let's look at last year too. He really started falling off towards the end of the year, and I think it was because he was taking the bulk of the snaps. Give him half those snaps, he's probably super fresh.
Well, he
still.
also almost killed himself in the Colts game because he literally did everything.
Yeah.
and well,
Buffalo too.
Bills
he did a
game
lot.
he took a lot.
Well, yeah.
Load management.
Alexander
He had a
Madison.
lot of 3-yard rushes, right? Like the whole entire game. Then he'd bust one for 80, right? Like that was like a lot of Dalvin Cook last year.
That's the Delvin Cook experience, and then punch one into the goal
That's
line.
what scares me. I said this as well last night. I don't think Madison can do that. Like, I don't think he can have an 80-yard run. I think
Right.
Ty Chandler can, but if they don't believe that Ty Chandler can, sign Kareem Hunt and do it now.
Yeah.
Because
But
we need
Madison's
someone
a
that can make a big
Well,
plays.
dude,
Madison's not fast enough.
First of all,
Madison's a physical guy. He'll break through for those.
He won't have an 80-yard touchdown. He's
no,
not fast
but
enough.
you'll scuff through and rough it out for those really short first downs that we
Well,
need.
I
or even
agree,
a 10-yard carry here and there.
But you are getting rid of your home run play.
Sure,
the Kirk option.
but
Hear me out on this.
Yeah,
we have JJ, KJ, Jalen Nager. We'll be fine.
The Kirk the Kirk
Jalen
option.
Rager.
Yeah, geez, that was awfully
Well,
close.
isn't
I'm
there
thinking-
isn't
I'm
there a
thinking of
Jalen
Jalen Naylor.
Yeah,
You are.
Jalen Naylor.
You
yeah.
were about 3 letters from
Canceled.
getting
I was
canceled
almost.
there.
Dude. I get Jalen Naylor and Jalen Rager mixed up
And
all the time. I was just mixing them.
I am not editing that out.
That actually sounds horrible.
No, accountability. Now we can use that for blackmail.
Did you see the look
Hey,
on my
at
face?
least
I think
at
we
least
all
I
took
said
a
the right
second
word
there and we're
because
like,
that South Park episode he was totally off.
Jake, your face is getting red. You're
You're getting
Yeah,
embarrassed.
that was-
He's backpedaling now, Cam.
He's back.
No, I'm saying the Kirk QB option. Let's
Yeah.
run it. You remember that big touchdown he had
Jalen.
last year?
The
Against
16
Arizona?
yarder.
Yeah, that was a guy.
The whole entire time I was like, he's getting fucking hit and fumbling, like the
Yeah.
whole entire run.
And he's
That's
gonna
all
be
I was
out for the
thinking.
year.
Yes.
I think that only works against a team like Arizona because that defense is like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
So if you play like I don't know, like
Even the Packers,
fucking-
they have a good D.
Don't we
yeah,
have
you
Colin?
can't do that against
No.
the Packers. You play like the Texans or the Falcons. Yeah, let's do it. But like otherwise, he's dying.
We'll be fine. I think someone had put out a huge statistic about how the last so many Super Bowl teams have had 800-yard rushers. Like they didn't really have look at the Patriots and then Tampa Bay, and they never really had the guy that was would explode for 80-yard runs.
Well, even
That's-
look
that's
at
what I've
Kansas
been
City too. Yeah.
That's
Kansas City,
yeah.
exactly.
That's what
Jerk
I've been
McKinnon.
saying. The last from as far as I can remember, the last 5 Super Bowl winners did not have a bell cow running back.
Yeah.
I think the last Super Bowl
Bell
team
cow?
that had a workhorse
proper
bell
term,
cow. Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Oh,
They had a bell cow running back with Marshawn Lynch.
I believe it's a cowbell
That
running
was-
back. Will Ferrell.
We need more fucking cowbell.
More
Yeah.
fucking cowbell. All right, let's move into our bits of the week, folks. What do we got? What do we got, fellas?
Who's
Who wants to
going-
start? Someone
go
just start
first.
reading.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cam,
okay.
Cam's ready.
They-
He's ready to
young,
camper.
youngest can go first.
My bit is the Hissy Fit Bit.
Oh.
I am the heaviest sleeper, as we've talked about before. So on Monday, I woke up late for work because I'm a piece of shit.
So this is a problem.
I used to
It's
be
a
piece of
massive
shit.
I remember you saying it was a problem, but I didn't know how often.
No,
it was
it's a problem.
Okay.
And it sucks. But you have that. I know you guys have done this, like Jake and the fucking the hockey tournament.
Yes.
You sleep in and then you literally just panic. I was losing my mind. I went downstairs, showered in 2 minutes, came upstairs. First of all, couldn't find my belt, couldn't find my wallet. I'm literally throwing shit everywhere, and I'm losing my mind. It is the worst feeling in the world, and I don't wish it upon anyone.
You shouldn't yeah, no, it's a bad feeling, but you shouldn't feel too bad because you actually you stay after a lot at your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like
They're not gonna fire you.
You're allowed one sleep in once, So I think
I know.
you're fine.
Yeah, I do. I work a lot, but at the same time,
You don't want to be late.
Yeah, I don't want to be
yeah.
that guy, and I'm just losing my shit. I feel like a child every time. I'm just gonna start crying next time.
You need. There's got to be alarms made for people like you. Someone has to have solved this
So-
problem
fucking tornado
years
siren?
ago.
So
Well,
I was really similar growing up as a kid, and so my parents got me the sonic boom alarm clock. You put it under your pillow, and then it would go off and it would shake,
Yeah.
and then it
Jesus.
would wake you up.
You
It was
need
like
that.
it was like when you're at a restaurant and you're waiting, and it starts.
I'm gonna try to find the fucking bomb shelter after.
Well, so
It
basically,
worked,
we
it
need
worked.
someone to perform an exorcism on Cam every morning.
We need a priest to come in and make say make
Strap
your
him
bed-
down, yeah.
make your bed shake.
I don't.
It's like, all right, okay, we're ready for work. It's 7 a.m. Let's
Time
go.
to clip that.
Hey, Cam, I saw you had a
No context.
you had a tweet that said "Time to focus on myself." What is that? What was that about?
I'm just trying to focus on myself.
Just verbatim.
Yeah,
I'm seeing stars.
Better
whatever
mental health, you know?
Episode I just had was.
it's always
What
good
are
to
you
have good mental health.
No, that's
It is.
It
But
is.
do you need to put it on social media if you're gonna?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
But
Do you
Jake,
need to be my dad?
Jake, Cam has to do one other thing too. What is it? Think about
Bend
it.
my knees.
you do need to bend your knees. Not as much in golf,
You're
but in
really-
hockey. Not just bend your knee. You need to learn how to stop.
You're really good on your knees.
I am. I am. I'm very good. If
He's
you
a
see me
goalie.
in pads,
Anyway, shut up. The last thing about my bit, I don't know if this has any correlation at all, but it actually terrifies me that I'm gonna have super bad sleep apnea when I'm older.
Like, you need the mask and shit.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need a fucking CPAP, and it scares the hell out of me.
why do you think that?
Because I'm the heaviest sleeper ever, and a couple people in my family have sleep
You think
apnea,
that
and
is that actually linking?
I don't know. I just said I don't know if it makes sense, Jake.
Well, you got to go talk to a doctor.
Well, you need that because the reason you have to get those masks is because you stop breathing when you're sleeping. I mean, have you ever
Yeah.
woken up because you're not breathing?
No, not yet, but it might. This
And
might be
you're
early
fine.
stages.
You're fine.
At least
fine,
you don't
yeah.
have.
Sounds like you have the opposite issue.
Sleep paralysis. I get that every now and then.
What's
You
that?
see demons.
Oh, it's fucked up. You've never heard of sleep paralysis?
I have, but
It's
like
basically
refresh
where
me.
you're like vividly awake, but you can't move,
You need-
and you have hallucinations. So you see
Yep.
things, you hear things. You're awake, you're looking around, but you're tripping. Basically.
see a therapist.
It's like
And
your whole body thinks you're asleep, but it thinks you're awake, but like your brain is still in sleep mode. So that's why you get the
And you
hallucinations.
can't wake up.
terrifying.
You
You
feel
wanna-
like you're
I've
suffocating
gotten
sometimes.
it a few times. I haven't gotten the hallucinations. I've gotten where I can't move and I
Yep.
can't do anything. I'm like screaming and I can't. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get out of it and it won't let you. It's
Well,
horrible.
and you're not actually screaming and
No,
real
yeah,
life.
you're just like-
no,
you're
You're
just
like in your head and
you're
you
like
can't
asleep,
get out of it.
but
yeah.
it's almost like Inception.
It almost feels like
Here's
you're
the
dead.
creepiest thing about that: there is no information around it. No one knows anything
Why?
about
Nope.
it.
Yeah.
No one knows why, what causes it, why you get it as often as you do, why you'd go months without it, what it's linked to.
I've never had that, thank God. The only thing I've had close to that is when I fucking woke up with pink eye, and I couldn't open my eyes, and I thought I was dying.
You're watching too much NASCAR, eating too much ass.
Yeah.
Oh, drive
I
fast,
was
eat
gonna
ass.
say, is there a reason?
Jake,
that
why'd you
got pink
glare?
eye?
Remember, Jack and I both had pink eye.
It's what they were eating each other out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No,
That's what happened. They got it,
was-
from our
it
buddy
was-
K Pasa.
It was spreading around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't get it
uh,
surprisingly.
I would rather have COVID than pink eye. It is
Oh,
the worst.
I would not.
I would.
I would not take that wager.
At least the
Have you
COVID.
had
from,
COVID?
yeah.
from his
The
perspective.
COVID I had.
Great. Now the
wasn't-
episode just got flagged.
Yeah.
Word.
COVID information.
God damn it.
COVID information. This
The-
episode is
Spotify.
COVID misinformation.
Yep.
The Modelo virus that I had was not that bad. Like all I lost was my taste. I would rather have that than fucking pink eye.
I was
It is the
asymptomatic,
worst
pretty much.
feeling in the world. You can't open your eyes when you wake up because they're just filled with crust. And
from
then
that ass.
Yeah, but but Cam, now you know what it's like to have seasonal allergies. That's me,
I
regardless.
have them.
Oh,
So,
But it's
you don't get
worse.
affected with the eyes.
Nah, I do, but not like
At least the eyes
literal
weren't itchy.
Not like
boogers
ass-
on your eyelashes,
ass eye.
sewing your eyes shut. That's pink eye.
So when that whole thing was going around our friend group, I actually went to a bachelor party, and it was in August. So I thought they were seasonal allergies, and so I was doing the allergy eye drops. And I remember I was hammered, and I was walking around Mystic rubbing my eyes,
Yep.
and I went and played a ton of games. So
You suck.
you spread it to so many
I
people.
absolutely gave pink eye to probably 30-plus people in that 2 hours.
The
I was at
worst
Mystic
too is
alone.
telling someone you have pink eye. Like I came back, I had to call into work, right? Because it's contagious
Yeah.
as fuck. I was like, yeah, I had pink eye because I had to tell them why I called in, and then
Right.
everyone is just making fun of you, like, oh, you wiping your ass with your hands.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's
Like,
more
no,
ways of
I'm
getting
not.
pink eye than just.
Oh.
It's highly contagious.
Yeah.
It's the most. It's almost like an STD. It's like an unwritten STD, basically, when you say you have pink eye.
That's like kids. They're just filled with fucking germs. They're
Right.
like walking pink eye practically.
Yeah, lice and all that shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, Jack, you came home and I thought you just smoked a ton of weed.
I
remember you
wish.
just like, yeah, well,
I
and
wish
you're
that's the
like, oh,
reason
yeah,
my
you have
eyes
pink
were
eye.
fucking bleeding.
My eyes are watering just like thinking about it.
Yeah.
I might get pink eye
It's
just
not
because we're
fun.
talking about it.
If you ever need it, I still have the eye drops. So.
Fuck
Sounds
yeah.
good. I'm shocked I didn't get it. I was waiting for it to happen. I was waiting to wake up and just my
I
eyes
remember,
not being able to be open.
You're used to it though. You always have ass in your eyes.
So I'm immune.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember Trevor and Gage were over that Monday to record the Has-Beens, and they like walked in, and Trevor's like, "Whoa, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I got pink eye," and he like fucking dove on the other side of the room
Yes.
and ran away like I was infected with a foreign virus, and he's
It's
like,
the worst.
"Stay the fuck away from me." I'm like, "Whoa, man, okay, cool, it's okay, you're okay." And he's like, "I cannot touch anything." Like he was freaking out. I'm like, "Trevor, it's fine."
This one's for Chaz. Jack would get this. I would rather have the avian flu than pink eye.
Yeah, there's a
He
guy.
fucking makes fun of us.
There's a guy on our hockey team.
It's our captain of the hockey team. He makes fun of us every week for. Remember when we didn't know what avian meant?
Like bird flu.
Yeah, I got fucking ripped for that.
I got ripped by a lot of people for that.
Same.
We were Googling
Because
it.
we didn't
couldn't
know
find a
avian.
clear answer. Blame
Yeah,
the internet.
Avian bird.
It's essentially the
avian
bird
airplane, I
flu.
don't know.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
essentially
but
what it is.
you didn't know that at the time either.
You were saying
No, I
it was
know.
like a country.
Yeah, I
Well,
it
no,
sound-
Jake,
I
that's
heard of it.
Argentina.
I just didn't know what it was.
It sounds like aviation, so it kind of clicked quickly. for me,
Aviation
but
flu.
Were you here that week or no?
I wasn't. No.
Oh, okay.
That's still not a household word.
bird
I'm sorry.
flu.
No.
no, right. Just call it the bird flu. I mean, it's way easier.
That's what
Like-
I've heard it as referred
This
to.
isn't
As. I just
like fucking
forgot.
1800s. We don't use
No.
avian. We use bird.
Yeah, we call them birds.
Birds
Bird
also
flu.
aren't real.
but we
You're
called
right.
it swine flu. We didn't call it pig flu, and that's
Exactly. Well, we should have called it.
We've come a long way as a people. All right, Wags, what do you got?
I got the "you disgust me" bit. As we were talking about earlier, I was at Florida, so obviously I had to fly there and back. And on the flight back, this woman in front of me started clipping her fucking fingernails. She started clipping her fingernails on the fucking plane. And at first it was like, what's that sound? And then you're like, no way. There's no way someone's clipping their nails right now. And I just started peeking. I was getting every single time I just heard clip, clip, I would get madder and madder and madder, like a baby was crying. But like, don't cut your nails on a fucking plane, people.
That is ratchet.
That's yeah, like
The busiest person in the world is not that busy that they only have time to cut their nails on the airplane.
it was like a 20-year-old woman too. Like I just thought like she would have more like self-awareness not to do that on a plane. And she was next to her family, and her family like they weren't even looking like it was a big deal, or like they didn't tell her to stop or anything. I was just like, I was looking around like, is anyone else seeing this shit?
Like if your nails are bothering you that bad, first of all, don't really know if you can have a nail clipper.
Yeah, on a plane.
That is
right?
sharp
Yeah.
and a weapon. But if your nails are really bothering you, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Go
or do
away.
it before or after the flight. So she was doing it on the flight.
On
during
the flight, right in front of me too. Like during the flight.
Dude, that
and,
makes me think. You mentioned that her family was unfazed by it. That must mean she does a lot worse stuff at home. They're like, oh, you think this is bad? You should have seen
Yeah.
what she did on Tuesday.
She
Was
wiped
this
her
Delta?
ass on the carpet like our
Was
golden
this-
retriever did.
Was this Delta?
Sun Country.
Oh, that makes 100%.
What are you talking about? You're talking about Sun Country. You're talking like it's like fucking Spirit or something.
No. Because every time I've been on a Sun Country flight, there's always been something. I'm not saying it's a horrible airline, but every time I've flown Sun Country, someone. Literally, we talked about it on the way back from Vegas. I had to buy a Sun Country ticket because I was flying standby. I got stuck at the airport. Kid puked all over the floor in front of me. And they had to pick it up, and then the parents were having a domestic abuse case, domestic assault or whatever. There's domestic violence going on in front of me.
He assaulted her on the plane?
The wife was just like, verbal. It was like verbal assault.
There.
She was just screaming at her husband, and their kid puked. And then I took Sun Country on the way back from LA a few years back when Jack and I went out there, and there was some lady who is probably, I should say, a little overweight sitting next to me, just eating a shit ton of like Funyuns, and she was licking her fingers, and she was touching the tray all around me. So every time I've flown Sun Country, something like that happens, and it's always only like one person.
She was a high-calorie human.
Goodness, but why is it like when you told me Sun Country, I'm like, that just makes too much sense. There's always one person. It's not like
For the most part, though, like people at Sun Country will have like patrons of Sun Country will have flight etiquette. Like whenever I've done Spirit or like Frontier, like as soon as the plane lands, there's people grabbing their shit in the back of the plane and trying to run to the front.
When we flew to Denver at Frontier, oh my god,
it was so rash. Like people were just screaming, and it was kind of fun for some parts of it because like it was a party on a plane, but it really turned gross real quick.
I will say Frontier is dog shit, but
I like that they have animals on the wings. They're like, if you look outside, your animal or your plane has a zebra. That's
If you look to your
something
right,
on the wing.
there's a man smoking crack.
but then they were like
Something.
dicks to us.
Oh yeah, the flight attendant. Yeah.
But Spirit is better than Sun Country, and I will stand by that.
Oof, I don't know.
I
Jack
never
and
flown
I,
Spirit.
Jack could probably attest to this. We flew first class Spirit.
Well,
Doesn't
that's
get you
not
much.
real. That's not real Spirit.
It's still Spirit.
I disagree. I never flown
And-
Spirit, but I've heard more worse
Jack, you
things
didn't
about
mind
Spirit
it.
than Sun
I
Country.
have never had a bad experience flying Spirit.
But you just said you flew first class Spirit.
But it's
there.
not. It's not first class. It's literally a Sun Country seat, but first class for
You guys-
Spirit.
well,
is like
You
Sun
guys have never lost your bags on Spirit, have you?
No.
Okay.
It is first class in the sense that it's the same aircraft with the two wider seats. It's first class
Yeah.
physically speaking, but like the treatment is you still have to pay for everything.
Yeah, but you're still
And
like
you're-
the front of the plane and stuff.
And it's only
right?
like a $12 ticket.
But
yeah,
I've-
we sat first row.
I've also flown like a little bit in the back in Spirit. I would rather do it than Sun Country.
Really?
Sun Country sucks.
I've really, besides the clipping
Sun
issue,
Country-
besides the fingernail
Sun
clipping, I
Country-
haven't had an issue.
I've never flown Spirit. I've just seen like ratings. It's like Spirit is by reviews is
Oh, I
rated
know.
one of the lowest. I know you've had great experiences, and then it's kind of like goes up to like Sun Country, United, and then Delta's obviously the highest.
Yeah. But
A lot of people would just disagree with you. That's all I'm saying.
no, that's fine. I don't care. A lot of people disagree with you all the time.
Sure.
But the fingernail thing disgusts me.
That's
that,
gross.
That
Yeah.
reminds me of like that's probably the same person that is in a sit down restaurant and just blows their nose on the table.
Yeah,
Like at
with the
like,
tablecloth.
No, yeah, like stop.
yeah.
Go
Or
to the bathroom.
Older guy who pulls out a handkerchief.
And then
or just-
wads it up and puts it back in his pocket.
Or if you're just at a restaurant and like there's people belching loudly at a table next to you, it's like, dude, I can burp too. I'm not doing it here at a restaurant.
Anytime you've gone out to
sounds
eat
like-
with Bubba.
That literally sounds like Bubba. We were at the Copper Pine in Shakopee a couple weeks ago, orders 3 entrees, stands up, has stains all over his shirt, and it's like pretty much screaming, belching, think I'm going to have a heart attack. Literally, that's it. And people are staring at us. Like,
Like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. He's like
And
the
he's
guy,
saying it kinda loud.
like the guy in SNL from the Bears who's like pumping his chest.
Yeah,
He's
Chris
got
Farley.
fucking sausage stuck in his throat.
At one point, he was like this, pounding on his chest and like, like really loud. That's
He does that.
he's the kind of person. I don't know if I could ever fly next to him. I don't even know what he does.
That would be bad.
All right, journalist Jacob, what's your bit?
I have the Brad, Chad, Todd bit. So we did this
I forgot about
at
this.
Maynard's the other night, and we were literally. It's really a kind of a parody of what we think a typical daddy's money boy, Chad, Tad, Brad from. Yeah, you do that. All you have to
We
do.
were walking around Maynard's looking like this.
Yeah, I literally have my hat at one point like this, and I was shit. Whatever.
What's up? My
Those
name's
headphones.
Connor.
Well, I'm just
That'll come out of your paycheck.
I would literally be walking around like that. We would all be doing that. We'd be talking. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. But I'm just gonna keep this off for now, I guess. But
Just
anyway,
forget about the hat.
But
for a
you
second.
just, I could just do this too and be like, "Yo, what's up, girl?"
Oh, the TikToker haircut.
The TikToker.
You look so grunge right now.
Dude, fuck yeah. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. But no, that's the Brad, Chad, Todd bit. You go around, you put your hat on, really loosely and walk around and like act like you're like, I would go up to groups. I forgot I did this. I went up to some guy or some girl and I'm like, my dad could sue this entire restaurant. And and my dad owns the entire lake. I am Jake Minnetonka, and he could sue everybody here. He could buy out this restaurant for the night right now and kick you all out.
My name is Bradley Maynard, the heir to the Maynard throne.
Yeah, and then we were saying that, and then our buddy Charles, the hockey guy, that you and Cam play hockey with. I remember I was saying he was like Joe Wyzetta or something.
Oh my God.
But
What did these people say to you?
I was walking by people like they didn't know what to say. Like some girl was like, "Oh, really? You could? Wow!" Blah blah, and she looked disgusted. I'm like, I'm not being serious, but I'm sure they deal with actual guys that actually do that. And I remember we were at the bar making fun of what we think this persona is, and then some guy those two guys come right next to us. Yo, bro, can we sneak in and get a drink? And they literally had their hat on.
I think I was like, yeah, bro, for real, go for it, yeah.
We were like talking with
Fucking, and then I turn around, I'm like, I fucking hate myself.
I'm like, literally, we've been here 30 seconds making fun of these guys, and we're already seeing the people we're making fun of. Like, you walk around, you see a million guys with their hats.
instant
like, up like this.
validation.
Like, hey, what's up?
The worst guy I saw there, I mean, we're talking Maynard's, like there's a lot of Chads there. There was a guy wearing a fucking beanie hat. Remember that?
Yes, he was wearing
in
a.
August.
I was like, someone needs to throw this guy in the lake.
It was a champion hat. I'm like, this.
85 degrees out, dude.
Did it bring the outfit together?
No.
Oh, he looks like a complete asshole.
I have a question because I have actually been accused for wearing my hat like that by some people that I know.
I don't know.
Stop.
Can't be that
Have
bad.
I?
But if
I don't-
Have you guys noticed it?
If
No, I haven't.
Not
Okay,
that I
good.
can
this,
think of.
not this bad.
Okay, good.
You'll
I
rock a
mean-
backwards hat. Don't get me wrong, but not like that.
It's
Yeah.
okay for those who are listening. It's where you like place your hat very lightly on top of your skull.
You're
Like,
just
Yeah.
placing it. You're not putting
right.
it on.
You're
And
not.
it's-
You're not
like, I'll
pushing
do
it
this.
down
It's
around
this
your
bad?
head.
The top.
No,
that's
no,
totally
it's
fine.
This is what I do, and I
Yeah.
get made fun of for
The
it.
and like the brim, not the brim, but like the back part of the hat is literally drooping down to almost the top of your nose.
Or when they do this and it's super tight and be like,
yeah,
yeah, my name's Chris. I ride a Harley and I just beat my wife.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah, right.
They
Yeah, but
always
you
do
know,
that.
my dad already paid off the case
And
and,
it's
paid
probably a
off the lawyer,
Hurley
so
hat
the judge.
too.
A
It's like
Hurley
a fitted Hurley hat,
Or-
and they have white sunglasses.
It's disgusting.
White pants.
I wait chicken spaghetti at Ciccolini's.
White Ferrari.
I was going around telling people I used to be a piece of shit. And, I think
I
at one
used to
point,
be.
I think I literally took my hat off and like, you think this is slicked back? This is pushed back. But literally, we were doing the Brad, Chad, Todd bit where literally half those guys there were probably Chad, Connors, Kyles. And it's just crazy how much if you go to places like that, you're making fun of it, you're parodying something. It's not a parody. It really exists there, and these people are real.
But then you start to become it, brah.
I know. Become it, bro. Oh, dude, Bill Guerin would have he would have kicked my ass.
He
if I was
he
there.
loves that bit though because he hates those people as well.
He does love it, but I think after a while he would have got very annoyed with us. He'd be like, okay, quit the fucking act.
Yeah.
That was it.
Well, speaking of lakes, I'm gonna do the reveal bit. So the Timberwolves revealed their latest uniforms. It is styled after a lake type color scheme, I think. Although the water is like dark and then it gets lighter and there's like bubbles and
It's like smoke.
It's peculiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the base color is pretty awesome, but there was a video release from the jersey unveiling. So first it was Young Gravy wearing a bathrobe and taking it off and be like, "Oh, this jersey's pretty dope." And then there was a video that was taken of this. Was it like an exclusive unveiling party? It didn't look like there were a lot of people there.
It was, I'm going to talk about what's the name of the Lord Fletcher's is where it was.
Was that Lord Fletcher's? It couldn't have been a public event, was it?
I doubt it.
Okay, so there was a video taken of. So it starts with the Young Gravy wearing the jersey, rapping in this kind of very small stage right on the lake. And he's talking about, quote unquote, hitting it all night. I don't know whose mom he's referring to because he, like Zach Wilson's into moms. And then it pans to Crunch riding a fucking jet ski.
Just whipping.
Which, now that I realize, is that safe? Is it safe to wear a full costume, including a mask that you can barely see out of while operating a motor vehicle like that?
He was really close to Doc's.
Did he even have
that's
a
what I was
life
going to
jacket
say.
No, he didn't. No, it was just him in his
Very
suit.
strange.
Which I have just gained a massive amount of respect for the guy who is in the Crunch outfit, specifically for that reason. But then the best is Nas Reed is like, it pans to Nas Reed. He's like hitting on some girl, and it's like, I remember people were saying, "What the fuck did I just watch?" It was, it was the most Timberwolves like unveiling ever, and I don't really know why I'm saying that. It fit. It felt right.
If you want proof that we're living in a simulation, watch that video.
Yeah. Credit. I don't know who took the video, but credit to whoever was able to capture all three of those things within 5 seconds. Because
you can see it on our Twitter, our Instagram, 10K takes.
We've credited whoever posted it, but it was just I'm out of work. I can't talk about it anymore because I don't know what else to say. Like, yeah, Young Gravy talking about banging moms, and then it cuts to Crunch on the jet ski, which is got to be illegal, and then it cuts to Nas Reed just macking on some chick, and it's like, this is my team.
The dumb thing is jerseys aren't even that cool. Like, I think they're cool because I can't complain. Anything is better than
the crack stack.
Anything's better than the Connect jerseys from last year that looked like the quote unquote crack stack apartments.
It's a wonder of Minnesota.
The Bob Dylan ones that blew my mind. So this is better, but it's still not great. Bring back the green jerseys and just be done.
Or bring back the 04 ones with the jagged black pine trees.
Oh.
That party, it just, I'm like, was this a sanctioned Timberwolves event? You guys are a multi-million-dollar organized professional sports organization. It looked like it was thrown by some rich dad like Minnetonka for his kid at a grad party.
I would have thought
shitty speakers, and you just hear.
Because it didn't look like it showed Young Gravy like rapping, but you couldn't hear him. You could only hear his backing, like when he was rapping along too. It did not look good.
10,000 Takes has thrown better.
I was gonna say
that was our speakers.
The production value was like us at our 2-year party at the Loon in St. Paul.
Was.
I would think if you're gonna unveil a jersey, you host a party at the Target Center. I would think if you're gonna have Young Gravy, you put up a stage at the Target Center.
Or go to Mall of America at
like
the Rotunda.
did.
Yeah.
And then also make a big deal out of it. Invite people. Like, I had no clue the Timberwolves were doing that until that day.
It was
like,
really weird, and like it was in someone's backyard. I mean, the video was hilarious. Don't get me wrong, but the whole party was just very odd. Maybe it was just media members invited. I don't even know who or how you get.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's like he threw a party for Connor's birthday.
It's like J-Rock from Trailer Park Boys.
Yes,
they
his
hired
backyard
J-Rock.
concert.
It's backyard concert, and then that was a jersey unveiling. If it happened to you, or it could happen to you because it happened to me and T. That's exactly what it was.
I pulled out my cock and the petroleum jelly, started thinking about Karen and Nikki and Shelly. He talks about how he got caught jerking off.
Yeah, he's like, I was changing, motherfucker. I was changing. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
It did.
What is this?
That's a good reference.
Oh my god.
The only good thing I got out of that was that I saw more Unreal Timberwolves hoodies, and I need to get me one of them. That was the only cool thing about that whole event.
True. Dev who works for 10K had a really good spin on the Timberwolves jerseys. He says normally the Timberwolves jersey release is like the highlight of the Timberwolves season because like everything else sucks besides the jerseys. Well, this year since the jerseys suck, maybe we'll have better basketball.
I'm all for the spin zone there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The jerseys were awful last year, and we had mediocre basketball.
Still,
they
might be better than this year's jersey.
We just need our players. We've said it before. We need our players to not fight each other or walls, and we'll be okay.
Our players aren't waving guns in strip clubs, so we're
okay.
Of the Memphis Grizzlies.
And that's not our top guy doing that.
They're waving it at their family, a.k.a. Malik Beasley. I
remember that last year.
Random family. Memphis Grizzlies do make it further in the playoffs than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So maybe we do need to start waving guns at strip clubs.
Dude, my favorite was when Ja Morant got caught with the gun for the second time in like 6 months, and then someone put out a serious take of like, we need Ja Morant to be traded to Chicago. He needs a change in scenery. And someone goes, if you send that guy to Chicago, he's going to be going on Instagram Live waving an RPG.
He just has a gold scar.
Yeah, I said he'd be wearing. I said he'd be driving a tank.
How many games, Cam, did he get suspended for the second incident? 20 or 40?
Not even. It was like 10.
Really? I thought it was like a pretty big one. Let's see here.
I don't think.
Well, then he tried to. His PR team thought the best solution to the whole thing was putting out a video of him lighting a candle.
Yeah.
And
25 games.
the gun was allegedly a lighter. But
Yeah,
the
right.
The light is his scented candles, which is like, okay, if you're a person who regularly is publicly waving guns and going to strip clubs, I don't think that correlates with being a fan of scented candles.
Dude, as a pro athlete, you only get such a small window to actually earn a bag, right? And the fact that you're going to be wasting any of it, doing drugs, waving guns, doing anything illegal is just the dumbest thing ever. You have 10 to 15 years to make as much money as possible, and that money's gone. Like, play the fucking sport, be a dumbass criminal afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, but you gotta get that cred on and off the court.
I agree with you, Zane, but that just reminded me of like old man yells at clouds.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hopefully no one on the Timberwolves actually runs into that situation, but
I think we'll be okay. I think Malik Beasley was the only
exception.
hopefully.
Yeah.
It seems like our boys
The
are
parade
pretty,
of
we got rid of him too.
pretty
so.
well behaved. For
Yeah.
Malik
Malik Beasley, yeah, he gone.
Yeah, I mean,
He
the
gone.
team's led by Cat, who remember a few episodes back, like a bunch of people thought he was gay.
Yeah.
like it's not
Yeah.
it's not a hard team,
No,
no,
we'll be all right.
Yeah, we're good.
He does suck.
he's
Suck
calm
at
down.
basketball.
he's the best 3-point shooting big man of all time. I see
know
those
what?
in the comments
We
all the
could
time.
very well
man.
be interviewing Cat in the future. I'm gonna say, yeah, this guy said you suck.
Absolutely, we need to do that.
No, let's not.
Yeah,
Cam-
just
Cam
throw
just said
Cam
it.
under the bus.
Cam's
Do
gonna be
you-
like, I could beat him at 1-on-1. I play basketball.
Do you take it back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's not get Cat on.
Well, yeah.
You're gonna say that.
Well, Cam, you gotta.
You better not cut
if
this
you're,
out
if
either.
you're gonna throw,
No, I won't.
You gotta.
I
If you're
didn't
gonna
almost drop the worst word ever.
Well, I was combining
You know what
Jalen
happened,
Naylor and
Jake.
Jalen Rager.
We understand, big guy.
okay, Hitler.
Oh.
But hey, if you want to take it the wrong way, I'm down to get the heat on the internet. I'm all for it. It's just happened before.
you sure about
He's been there, done that.
I've been there, done that, and I love it.
Local elections.
Yes. I just need a few local elections and a few
Nope,
beers.
we're done doing that.
Digging your
I think-
grave.
I don't want to get tagged in
I-
tweets again.
10K's new rule is Jay can't fucking drink during local election nights.
Dude, it was bad too because I had to be on a trip for work, and there was just open bar. And,
The best-
and I went up to my hotel room.
The best is,
not good combination.
Jack and I were sitting on the couch downstairs watching the Wild game. We're looking at you like, what is he doing? Or no, we were watching the
And
election.
then I started
actually.
getting tagged in tweets, and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm
After
just
that,
gonna
I woke up
log
like,
off.
fucking A.
Yeah.
But yeah, not gonna happen. If make sure I'm not drinking on the next election.
Yeah.
But I learned, yeah,
That's not good for anybody.
it's not good for anybody. You're not changing anyone's opinion, and I've always said that, and then I should go ahead and do that. But
Then you go
but
ahead
in a
and
way, it was
try.
kind of funny. I don't know, but my tweet was clearly trying to piss people off. I wasn't trying to change anyone's opinions.
I don't know, Jake. You
Lion
might have been-
ass.
I was being very kind of
facetious.
sarcastic and kind of being trollish. It was very trollish.
Yeah,
which is what I love to do, by the way.
I technically troll local politicians.
Yeah.
I've been fucking begging Tim Walz to legalize gambling for the
And you
last
should.
2 months. I give him at least one reminder a week. I'll get there eventually.
Good luck getting through to that guy.
But I was able to legally get high and bet somewhat on sports through
Fantasy.
cultivated THC seltzers as well as fantasy sports. Underdog promo code 10K. That ad's coming soon, by the way. Probably in about 10 seconds here because we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we're going to teleport to Tommy Kramer's house. I want to tell you guys about something you probably already know, and it's the easiest way to get in on the action of sports. Preseason football is here, the PGA Tour playoffs, the FedEx Cup playoffs are here. Jeez, I almost butchered that.
It was close.
But Underdog Fantasy, guys, we've been raving about Underdog Fantasy well before we became partners with them. We play their pick'em games all the time. All you got to do is just pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. 20 times. You do a shit ton of things with 20 times the money that you put into that app. And if you want to know how to get started, all you got to do is go to underdogfantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app. Super easy website and app to use. You can pick between 2 or 5 players in your pick'em entry and win up to 20 times your money. And when you're signing up, if you use promo code 10K10K, you get a free, basically your deposit match for free up to $100. So if you put in 100, you get 200. If you put in 10, you get 20, and you can throw that on whatever you want. Preseason football, FedEx Cup playoffs, soccer, the video games. They have all sorts of stuff in there. So once again, that's promo code 10K when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com or the Underdog app, and we'll see you on there. All right, folks, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined by a very special guest in his home. If you're watching the YouTube version, there's literally a wall of Vikings jerseys behind us, but we're joined by former Pro Bowler Vikings quarterback Tommy Kramer in his house. Tommy, it's great to be here. Thanks for having us over.
Oh, we appreciate y'all coming over because we're in the dungeon.
Yeah.
The Vikings dungeon. I mean, you got so much incredible merch around here, like all these jerseys, and this is just incredible. It's insane.
Oh, it's a lot of fun doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the easiest thing you ever have to do is just be nice to people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And get to know a lot of people, and networking is key. That's what they say in media for us, and anything is just be respectful to people, be mindful of people, and then you make the connections, and then eventually you'll be in a Vikings dungeon like this with memorabilia all over the place and signed jerseys, and it's incredible.
I was gonna say, and your friend told us that this is everyone who has something signed in here has been here, right? That's kind of the rule. Yeah. So it's almost like a rite of passage. Jake, you're gonna have to go autograph something in his house now.
I might. I wouldn't even compare to any of these people that have stopped in here, but I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Who of anyone that is kind of stepped foot in your house? I mean, do you have anybody or any signing or any memorabilia that you cherish the most?
Oh, I don't think it's any of them that are, but to meet the people here, and then then that makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Because now you can get everything done.
Exactly. When they're step foot in here, and it's just easier to make the connection with them. So I get that. That's awesome.
Well, and Jake, speaking of memorabilia and Tommy Kramer, you can get some of his signed memorabilia at VSA auctions starting on August 14th. I've heard you've signed some jerseys and some other various items that people can bid on.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Memorabilia is just the gift that keeps on giving. It just accrues value over time. So yeah, VSA auction, just like Bert, same auction, starting August 14th, VSAauctions.com. But Tommy, the first question I got to ask you, you're from Texas. I guess what was the hardest transition about coming from Texas to Minnesota? I'm guessing the weather was probably the front runner.
That was the easy choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
The water. I had a Lincoln Continental that I drove up from Texas, and I bought a house in Lakeville, and I couldn't get, when it was October 9th, I couldn't get up my driveway.
Yeah.
It was the snow. And I'm like, so I just set it out in front of the house, and it was sat there 6 months before I drove it again.
Yeah, because it was just snowed in.
You're like, nope, leaving it here.
That was your first signal of like, oh, it's winter in Minnesota. Welcome to hell. Like this is the reality.
Yeah,
that's true.
and then you not only then you had to deal with that at home, you had to deal with that you played at the Met, so you actually had to deal with the cold while you played. How was that?
Well, you got to do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
What do you think of football, Minnesota football moving back inside? Do you think that they should still be playing outside, or do you like that they play in close?
If you're going to be the only one outside, it ain't going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember we had Chuck Foreman on about a month ago or so on our podcast, and he mentioned that what was it? Bud Grant didn't allow the players
the jackets.
Didn't allow hand warmers or anything like that.
No, he didn't. Bud didn't let him. Although Bud always told me, he said, whatever you need to do, Tommy, to keep your hands warm, I'll look the other way.
Okay, wow. So he gave you the exception.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
To your credit, you're touching the ball every single play. So
Yeah.
I think it's fair that quarterbacks and then maybe the center get to keep their hands warm. Maybe the punter, because you don't want the punter dropping the ball,
No, you
kicking his own fucking hands.
Yeah, right. Do you think, you had it tougher back when you played compared to the quarterbacks today? Like, were people literally out to hurt you back then? Compared to today, it's like you practically have to like lay the quarterback down when you sack them.
Yeah.
I just feel like it had to be different for you back then.
Back then, and they could do whatever they wanted. You could maul the receiver downfield for 10 yards.
It's crazy, and nothing's called.
Yeah.
But that's what some people would say that's real football, though.
Hard-nosed football.
Hard-nosed football, even though it's probably cheap,
Yeah.
So
Have you seen the Netflix documentary Quarterback with Kirk on it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I probably saw it somewhere.
Yeah, you've probably seen clips of it. I was gonna say I'd be curious to see what the preparation was like back in your day compared to what it is now. I mean, how would you prepare for a game? Did you have any rituals or?
Well, I just tied my shoestrings together.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean and then you just threw the shit out of the ball. That's all there is to it, I suppose.
I just make sure that I did so they wouldn't come off.
Right, right. And even if they did come off, you'd probably still be fine. You just,
Yeah.
you just have to run with one shoe off.
No, you don't want to do that.
No, that's I think the most straightforward answer you get from some people. You hear like, especially watching quarterback, and you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. He has a lot of pregame rituals. Goes down to the field, goes to the middle of the field, goes to the field goal post, does all these superstitious actions, and then you're sitting here saying, just tying my shoes,
Just tie them together. That's
go out
it.
there and play football.
The rituals that he wants.
Yeah, the rituals. He does all these rituals.
Yeah.
I guess it's working for him in a way. You won a Super Bowl. But whatever works, everybody's different. But I just love that answer. Just tie your shoes, go out on the field, just play football.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love to hear it. I was going to ask, I wanted to ask about the old, everyone knows recently about the Minneapolis Miracle, but a lot of people might not know about the Miracle at the Met, which you led your team to come back. I think it was against the Cleveland Browns to clinch the NFC Central, as they called it at the time. The Vikings were down by 14, and then you made it like 23-15, and you got like a Hail Mary 46-yard pass to win the game. I mean, what?
Well, but the biggest one before that was a hook and lateral.
Yeah, during that game.
Sensor
Right.
and Teddy Brown.
Yes. Yeah. That was, I remember reading into that play, and that was, it seemed to be a pretty good, like an insane or intelligent play call from, it's kind of like encapsulates what Bud Grant was and who he was. It's kind of like a play call.
Bud wasn't calling plays.
He wasn't calling those?
He never
Wow.
never did he call plays.
Really?
So he left that up to his quarterback?
Well, either the offensive coordinator, Bernsey, or
Yeah.
Snooker.
Yep.
Yep.
Jerry Burns. I remember seeing the clip of him just dropping F-bombs after one of the games. I can't remember which one that is, but
Oh, yeah.
fucking Anderson and blah, blah, blah.
Everything
this and-
sucked.
Yeah, he was basically
Everyone sucked.
almost like Jim Mora style.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Him and Bud Grant on the same coaching staff. What a world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were I know that because you obviously played your earlier part of your career at the old Met at Metropolitan Stadium, but you got to play in the early years at the good old Metrodome.
Oh yeah. That was much better.
You think so? You like the Dome a lot better?
I mean, it was probably
A
warmer.
little bit warmer.
Hell yeah.
I mean, what were those early days like at the Dome, like in the early years?
Oh, it was. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I'm assuming it was.
I'd rather play in there than play outside.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the fans like that too,
Yeah.
being inside rather than freezing outside.
Well, some of them are crazy though.
Yeah. So some of the more psychotic ones might have been like, oh, this is a kitty cat move to move inside, like
Yeah,
with
I
the
know.
Minnesota
I know.
Vikings, which credit to teams like Buffalo and Green Bay, they're still rocking it outside, but
I know.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's still. I mean, with the U.S. Bank Stadium, though, you have like the nice panel glass up top.
yeah,
Makes you
it's real nice.
kind of feel like you're outside.
A little natural light.
Yeah. You did the I keep forgetting.
Gallahorn.
Gallahorn.
Yeah,
I
there
almost
you
said Gajahorn. You did the Gallahorn last year during a game, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a pretty cool experience to.
I think it was me and Rashad.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I know that we got a tour of that last year, and that thing's freaking huge.
Yeah.
It's insane, and you're super high up too in that area. So, I mean, you got to feel pretty proud to sound the Gallahorn before a game. That's incredible.
Oh yeah.
That's insane. I was going to ask too. Speaking of stadiums, back when you played. I mean, who had like the craziest fans or fan base in terms of playing on the road?
Philadelphia, no doubt.
Yeah.
So they've kept that title
Yes.
going today because their fans are still the worst.
Well, they had jail down at the underneath the game.
Yeah, they have it. For people who are listening, they have a court, they have a judge down there, and they have literally a jail. So if you do something stupid, you could get sentenced and you could stay there over the weekend, which is bananas to think about getting arrested at a football game. Like, what do you have to do to get sentenced to jail at a football game? But no, Philly did it.
No, they did it all the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine. You see old highlights, and well, you're speaking of the just wide receivers getting mauled downfield, and there's the notorious. I don't know if you were on the team yet, but like that game against the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game against the Vikings, where it essentially ended on a wide receiver or the Cowboys had the ball and they were going downfield, and he clearly pushed off on one of our defenders and went up and grabbed the ball. And today that would have been OPI, offensive pass interference, any day.
I think that was like a day in when Paul Krause and then and somebody else, Nate Wright was a guy trying to get him down, and they couldn't get him down. And so that was the end of that one.
Jeez.
Yeah, shove them aside.
I know people would talk about that as part of a lot of the woes of Vikings football, but here we are, like we're just like you, still celebrating the history of this team and still a fan and still hoping for a Super Bowl in the near future, honestly. So
we're waiting on it.
Yeah, we're almost there.
It's getting better.
Yep.
I think so.
I mean, speaking of staples and stadiums, I mean, the staple of your basement here in the Vikings dungeon is the Packer urinal. Was that your idea? Putting that in there, or
No, that wasn't me, but it was a buddy of mine.
yeah,
It's right over there.
it's right over there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's right
that's
around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know if you own the only one, or does anyone else have one of those?
I don't know. There's only one in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have one upstairs too. You never know.
Yeah, well, it's just the toilet. I mean, that's Green Bay. I mean, you could almost just say that.
I mean, I've been to
one
Green
all
Bay.
over.
It's basically a urinal for the most part.
Seriously.
So yeah,
that's all it is. It makes sense. Well, I was gonna ask about that urinal too. Out of all, like, you have so many prized possessions here. Is that your most prized possession, the Green Bay urinal? Out of all these signatures and jerseys, the Green Bay urinal's got to be your most prized possession.
It's the one that draws the most attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say it, and rightfully so. It's the Green Bay urinal. So I think I saw pictures of it, like it's just the splatter pad or whatever is just dead in the center, just perfect. I was at a bar in I think St. Peter last year, St. Peter, Minnesota, and someone had like stuck Green Bay Packers stickers all inside of one of the urinals and a bunch of pictures of Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, this is cool, but someone had to stick their hands in there and everything. I'm like, wow, okay. I'm like, that's a little better. That's a lot nicer than what someone did, but I appreciate the people have kind of the same idea around the state. So that's how they picture Green Bay.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. It's all fun,
Yeah,
It's all about being fun.
exactly.
You also have the Vikings limo.
Yeah, we got about 4 of them.
You got 4. So you have 4 of those? Are they all like around here, or you have them?
Yeah, whenever, there we can use, that's what we take sometimes, and like once football starts, then we go tailgating.
Yeah.
Bring them along.
Yeah. You probably fit a lot of beers in that thing, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Two passengers, 40 cases of Coors Light. We're
Yeah.
ready to go tailgating.
Ready to tailgate. That's just the best way to show up to a tailgate is in a limo.
Yeah.
You sometimes see vans and customized vans and trucks and all
Ambulances, buses, but
that.
yeah,
But a limo. You're tailgating the best you can do. I mean, how long have you been doing that in a limo?
About, let's see, probably, I'd say 3-4 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're definitely you're the tailgate guy for sure then. I mean, you're TK, Tommy Kramer, former quarterback, and also just know how to tailgate.
TK, tailgate killer, too.
Yeah, right?
You can decide what you want the initials to be.
Yeah, right? I know you're called 2-Minute Tommy, but I think you might have to transition to tailgate killer.
Not killer in a bad way. Killer
No,
as in
no.
we're gonna have a good time and then we're gonna go into the game.
It's not killing the tailgate.
Yeah.
Then we'll go some other bar and do having everybody meet, meet everybody. Because they're all football fans for the Vikings.
Yeah, exactly. Partaking in the camaraderie of that is tailgating and socializing and drinking.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. Just football and your buddies.
Football buddies and beer.
Yep.
That's all it is. Well, I know we've from people that we've heard, I don't know if this is true. We've heard that you like Coors Light.
Oh yeah.
Big Coors Light guy. Yeah, we like Coors Light.
It's like good water.
Yeah.
It is. It's
comes from the Rockies, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of water up there.
You're hydrated.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. Well, I wanted to ask, do you have a Mount Rushmore or top 5 or top 4 beers that you like? What are your top 4 beers, or is it just Coors Light?
No, just Coors Light.
Coors Light on all 4 heads. That's your answer,
just
Jake.
Coors Light, Coors Light, Coors Light.
Yeah.
So no, that's awesome. That's sweet.
Could you still launch a football? Have you? When was the last time you threw a football?
Well, a couple. Yeah. I mean, I don't throw it like I used to.
Yeah.
When we have little kids over and we'll throw out here and just throw them some balls and stuff. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet you could throw it further than me. I threw out the first pitch at a baseball game last week, and it was not good. So I bet you could throw it twice as far as me. I'm not gonna lie.
At least you could definitely still throw a tighter spiral than I can.
Yeah.
I'm out at tailgates. I wouldn't have a beer yet, and I'm trying to launch it across the parking lot to my buddy.
Shit looks like a wounded duck.
It literally just looks like I'm trying to I'm chucking like a dog toy or something. It's just spinning. It's brutal. Do you still think you could throw speaking of the miracle at the Met, you threw a 46-yard Hail Mary. Could you still throw it 46 yards if you could? Yeah. I don't even think I could throw it 46 yards, to be honest with you.
No chance.
If I did, my arms falling off.
I would need a running start at the wind at my back to even stand a chance of getting it within the vicinity of that.
No, when I was throwing, playing and throwing football, I could throw it 65 yards.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the farthest you could throw in your heyday? That's pretty fucking far, though. That's insane.
Well, and two, when you're playing at the Met, you got to take wind into account. I mean, obviously, if you remember when you threw that Hail Mary, do you know what the wind was doing? Was it in your face? Was it at your back? Was it non-existent?
Well, what I did is I looked out and then I dropped back down, and I have to put more of a trajectory going up because I got to wait for these guys to get down there.
Right.
Yep.
And I told them, I said, look, who's ever going to get in the middle, do not try to catch the ball. Try to bat it left or right. I have a receiver on each side.
Yeah.
I said, and I'm just going to drop it right down by the end zone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I was gonna. Did you feel it was easier to throw the ball when you moved into the Metrodome?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like that has to factor in being inside and not only being warm, but you had to like to throw easier. I feel like it might have been easier to throw the ball too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There was a game in particular I remember. Well, my dad talking to me about. I think it was like 85 or 86. The Bears were undefeated or something at that point, and you beat.
Yeah.
And I think you led it. You had a great game, and you beat the Bears, but Jim McMahon was injured. He was on the sideline. I remember seeing highlights, and he was just looked like he was devastated because he looked like he wanted to be out there, and you were just tearing it up in the Metrodome. I thought that was great. Do you have any particular memories or thoughts about that game?
Oh,
I know it was,
I forgot who we were playing, but this was when Bernsey was a coach, and I go, we're playing. I think we're playing the Packers. Yeah, we're playing the Packers, and I throw 5 touchdown passes in the first half, and then I come back out there, coming off the field after throwing that. I said, Bernsey, I said, man, I think I can, like throw her 7, 10 touchdowns. He goes, no, you're just going over the bench. We're not going to get you worked.
You were like, Coach, trust me, I can do this. I'm mangling this team.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Just give me another chance.
One more chance. But you're talking to Jerry Burns here.
Yeah, that's not a guy you're talking back to. I would have just walked over and sat on that bench.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to deal with it. Yeah, but how many coaches did you? I know you worked with Bud, and then was it Lee Steckel?
Yeah, Les
Steckel.
1 year, but it was a money deal for the and I didn't like any of that.
Yeah, and then it was Jerry Burns after that.
Yeah, then Bernsey came back.
Burns, yep, because he worked with Bud Grant, and
yeah,
was he as like we said, we mentioned that press conference where he was like, and he was going off. Everything sucked. I mean, was that kind of how he was as a coach and personality and everything?
Oh yeah,
just rowdy.
Yeah, he's the funniest guy I've ever met, without trying to be funny.
Yeah. One of those people. We all know those people.
Yeah. Well, I would just laugh at how pissed off he would get. I mean, he's one of those people who just wouldn't, almost like Jim Mora too, just would let his emotions fly. He didn't care what he said, who he was saying it to. Is there a particular wide receiver that you loved playing with the most, that you loved throwing the ball to?
Well, my favorite receiver who's ever open.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's
another fantastic answer from
TK.
TK.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, whoever's open is the guy you're throwing it to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That means every receiver that you've probably worked with that could catch the ball and never really drop it and just get open.
No, we had good receivers.
Yeah. I was going to say,
Tight ends, real good tight ends, all pro tight ends.
No, that's awesome. I was also going to ask too, and on the other side of the field, were there any players that intimidated you, like you were scared to get sacked by or scared to play, or every player you're just like, nope, I'm going to go up against all these teams. I don't care.
No, I don't. You can't play football like that.
Right, exactly. Kind of have. You didn't have any beef with any guys or anything?
Well, no, actually, it's like LT was damn good edge rusher.
Yeah.
And so I played. And then I played golf with him down in Houston.
Nice.
After I go back, so
nice.
I mean,
yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about that where quarterbacks become good friends with almost their rival rushers, and because you guys share a certain bond of, him trying to kill you on the field, and then somehow that just turns into a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, but the only one that hurts the worst is the one getting hit from the behind and from the front.
Yeah.
Those two, right? Your solar plex or whatever.
Yeah.
Like sandwiched.
Yeah. And then somehow you hold onto the ball, which always blows my mind when guys get sandwiched and they don't fumble.
Or still even somehow throw the ball off.
Yeah.
And make a play. That's incredible. Yeah. I'm sure you had a couple plays where you're just sandwiched and you throw the ball off. You're like, holy shit, how did that get caught? You extended that play. I'm sure you had some of those plays where you're like, you found a way to make it happen despite everything collapsing around you. It had to be insane. A really good feeling. Well, it's funny too because you hear about hockey players too. They'll get in fights and two guys will be yelling at each other in the penalty box, and you'll hear them having a drink or two afterwards. Same concept.
Enemies on the field, buddies off the field. It's the best. It's the best thing about sports.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's fun to hear about those stories though. It's great.
Well, Jake, did you have any other questions? I know Tommy's got to get to bingo.
Yeah,
Are you like the loudest bingo yeller? Like, do you just lose your shit when you get it, or are you just
pretty quiet?
Yeah.
No, I just
a little more humbled?
bingo.
There you go. That works.
Yeah. No reason to overdo it.
Do you win a lot? Do you win a lot of bingo usually?
No, I'm better on pull tabs.
Oh, yeah.
Pull tabs are fun.
Dude, I feel like bingo, pull tabs, and are just the Minnesota staples.
Yeah.
It's just I've partaken, and I haven't played a lot of bingo personally, but I've played pull tabs, and they're electric. They're fun. But
When you get 5-10 buddies together, you all throw $100 in there, and you're like, all right, see if we can get rich.
Yeah, it's to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna really partake in pull tabs. Have a couple beers, and you're like, guys, let's put the pool together. Let's do pull tabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess one last question I had for you. Did you have? I know we talked about like pregame rituals, and you didn't have a lot, but did you have a? Do you ever have a go-to hype song that you would listen to, or songs before games, or that really got your blood pumping?
Well, I have to say, I don't know if I did that, but the one that I always loved was Amarillo by Morning.
Oh, George Strait.
That's one of Jake's. That's one of Jake's favorite songs. He'll sing it all day too. Don't worry, I got PTSD from that as well. But
that I can see it's calming and relaxing, and probably just gets you in the. I can see it.
Jake listens to that song all the time.
I do. It's a great song, so I agree. George Strait is fantastic.
One final question I have: am I allowed to piss in the Packer urinal?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Wow.
I feel like I have to contribute to that.
Me too, as well. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky because I do have to pee.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you saved it right for this experience. But
Beautiful.
yeah, thanks so much, Tommy, for having us here. And yeah, folks, like we said, VSAauctions.com starting August 14th. You can buy a ton of awesome memorabilia. Like we mentioned, there's a ton of sweet memorabilia in this house, and who knows, if you buy enough stuff on the auction, then your basement could look maybe half as cool as this, which is about all you could shoot for because it doesn't get much better. But yeah, thanks so much, Tommy. We appreciate you having us over.
Do you want to legally bet in Minnesota? Well, we have football coming up. We obviously also have baseball still going on. If you want to find a way to bet legally, well, we have the app for you. So Better Edge is a legal online social betting marketplace that allows you to post and engage with other sports betting fans. They have a really cool like social media like platform that you can literally post your bets on, share it with others, and play with your friends. You can place no commission positions in an online marketplace. You can compete in direct head-to-head challenges with horrible bettors like myself or your other friends, whoever it may be. You can also compete in public or private betting competitions, and you can also buy or sell positions such as spread, over, under, and money line at current market prices. So if you use promo code 10K at betteredge.com, you can get a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID. So once again, if you go to bettoredge.com and you use promo code 10K, that's 10K, upon sign up, you can get a free $20. So go to betteredge.com today and start gambling or sports betting legally in Minnesota.
Awesome interview with Tommy Kramer. Can confirm did piss in the Packer urinal. And I did not realize that there is a signed picture of the Hanson brothers from Slapshot right at like the base of the urinal. And actually one of them commented on the photo and they're like, oh no, I'm being splashed on. Never realized that picture is right there. But just so you guys know, the Hanson brothers, I did not pee on you.
I thought you almost referred to I thought you meant like Hanson, like the band from the 90s. Like,
No.
Bop, but that would make much more sense. Bop, yeah.
No, the Hanson
I can
brothers
drum
from
to it right
Slapshot. Nope. Gotta calm down with the drums already, Jake. All right. We're bringing back an old segment called the dad jokes. It's pretty simple. Us three, me, Wags, and producer Cam are just gonna read corny dad jokes. We can't do these crazy intricate jokes because that would be way too easy to get Jake to laugh at. We're gonna see who has the best corny dad jokes. And there's not really a score system. It's just if you get a doom, Jake's got the cymbal in here, the snare drum, then you get
Jake decides the winner,
a
right?
shot of serotonin. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a point. You allegedly get a point if Jake gives you a doo-doo.
Well, the points don't matter, and the lines are made up.
Exactly.
All right.
If you fill, you just win the game.
Yeah, you could just win the game if you really want to. But I guess we'll start at the far end of the room. Producer Cam, what do you got?
What do my golf game and birthday cake have in common? They both come with large slices. He's literally laughing. He's literally laughing because he knows it's actually true.
No, I don't think he's giving it to you.
I don't know.
No,
All right,
win it.
that's
I thought
fine.
that was pretty good.
Thank you. That was my only one.
I
that's
thought it was
not-
going to be dirtier than that.
That's my only one that's not dirty, by the way.
Oh, okay.
See, I thought that's what I was waiting for. I think I was waiting for the dirty punchline.
Oh, just wait. It's coming.
It wasn't. It didn't hit me.
All right, Wags, your first selection.
You know, I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I view it as like if it's something my dad would say.
Then you like it?
Yeah.
Then it grew on me.
Yeah.
All right. How does a train eat? It chews.
I like that. Jake, wow.
You're the only one who didn't think that was funny. It chews.
Cider.
All right. This one requires some thinking, so bear with me.
Well,
And
these usually don't go well.
I know.
I know. How do you put a condom on an elephant? And I need you guys to respond after I say.
You use a garbage bag.
No, so you take the F out of cat, or no, you take the C out of cat and you take the F out of way. Think about it and get back to me. You take the C out of cat and then you take the F out of way.
There's not an F in way.
You're right.
Ah.
There's not.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Ah.
I
Okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay, I like
But there is a way. You
It's like the "What's up, dog" kind of bit.
Yeah.
I like that.
you put
I
it you
like
put a
that.
garbage bag around that thing's crank and you tie it with like an industrial sized rubber
I'm
band.
so happy that landed because I was waiting for you guys to just give up. I'm like, thank you,
That's
Jack.
Great. That was fantastic. That was good. I like that one.
Okay. If 666 is all evil, then 25.8067958 is the root of all evil. Math joke? You don't like math jokes? Oh.
No, I prefer meth jokes.
Meth jokes.
Walter
Okay,
White.
So,
It's the square root of 666. That's why it's the
Right,
root of
but-
all evil.
I saw
in a very intelligent household of that would be what the dad would say. But
so basically a smart household.
Smart.
of
So
Harvard
Jake just was
grads.
not in a Harvard grad household
I was
growing up.
not.
Okay.
Speaking of meth jokes, though, I did see a meme on Twitter today of Walter White with like the Avatar Airbender arrow on his head. It was like Heisenberg, the last meth bender, and I was like, yes,
That's great.
That deserves a doomch for me.
slopping
Speak
my-
about two shows you never expect. Like a
I know,
cross
I know. It's
between-
like, well, there's a bald guy in that one, and there's a bald guy in this
here.
one. There's got to be some crossover there. All right, Jake. A book fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame.
That was delayed, but he gave it to you.
What I'm realizing, he just likes like the really stupid ones.
Yeah.
It's like dad jokes
That's a good one, though.
sometimes.
I laughed at
only
that
have
one
my
when I
shelf
wrote it
to
down.
blame.
No, that was a
So
good
that's
one. Yes,
something
I chuckled.
Yeah, that's
I felt like your other one was better though.
I don't. The choo choo was like. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I do agree. It wasn't the best one on there. That's why I read it
No, I mean,
first.
I don't know. I like the shelf. The shelf one just feels dad to me.
Yeah. All right, Cam.
So unfortunately, we just heard that Grandpa has a really bad Viagra addiction. No one is taking it harder than Grandma.
What?
That's good. I think that's good.
Really?
Uh,
One's taking harder than Graham. Oh, you know what? I like that.
Thank you,
Oh my-
because
it
his dick
took him
is always
so
hard.
long.
I was
gosh.
thinking of literally the sex of it, and then you're like, no one's taking it harder than Graham.
At what age do you stop getting erections, though?
What a question.
But he has a
It's
Viagra
different for
addiction.
everyone, Jack.
I'm
I'd
not
assume.
telling you guys to picture your grandparents having sex, but that's.
Well, I like that. That's.
Oh, you
Oh,
like
he
that?
likes
Oh,
that.
you like
Yeah.
that? That's fucked
like
up.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jake likes that thought.
You like
That's
that.
fucked up.
Uh,
Fucked up, Jake.
Okay. I warned my children about using the whistle inside the house, and I gave them one last chance. Unfortunately, they blew it.
That's so dumb, but so good.
Damn it.
Fortunately, they blew it. That's hilarious.
This actually might be either my best or worst one on here, depending on. I feel like now that I'm reading it, I don't like it, but we're going to go for it anyways. What do you call a car filled with water? A carpool.
Yeah,
so it worked.
That's. I could. Just,
I read it, and I was like, this doesn't seem that creative, but we're going to
That
go
was pretty
for
good.
it. Okay.
That's a good one. Like it's simple, straight to the point, not long.
Right.
Simple, sweet.
Right.
What do you tell the police when they say anything you say can and will be held against you? Boobs.
He gave it to you.
It's like a
It-
teenage.
sometimes it
It's like a
takes me a couple
teenager's
seconds.
answer.
Boobs. Boobs.
That's what the cool. That's what the dad would say around when his kids are over drinking and he doesn't know they're drunk.
Yeah. It's like no, don't tell your mom.
I just have all the creepy uncle dad jokes.
Oh
That's a good
gosh.
one.
Cam, you're gonna be a creepy uncle pretty
No.
soon.
You already
Not a
look
creepy
like
one.
It. You have the mullet, and you're wearing a happy camper hat with the happy. With
Because
the
I'm
smiley
dressing
face
for the
emoji.
occasion. It is a dad joke episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna make a joke there, and I think it's too soon, so I'm not gonna say it. All right. Let's go. Wags, what do you got?
My wife complains that I don't buy her flowers. To be honest, I never even knew she sold flowers. You bastard.
I get it.
I get it.
He's taking
He turns into Kirk, too. I
fucking-
get it.
You know
fucking
what?
Simon Cowell.
We should. The next time we have him on the show, he needs to judge the dad jokes contest.
Yeah.
But
He's
he
Oh,
might
that would be-
also
that's
have
so-
dad jokes.
That's hilarious.
and he needs to bring his own. All right. Why do ghosts ride elevators? It lifts their spirits.
Oh, I missed that for a second. What was it?
Why do ghosts ride elevators? Because it lifts their spirits. I agree. I don't think that one's very good. I don't think that one's
I
very
get
good.
it. See, all these I can get. It's not that I don't get it. It's just how I.
That one didn't even make me laugh. I don't know why I wrote it down. See, like when you're reading them, it's so much different. But then sometimes you say them out loud, and you're like, "Oh, I could have done better."
People gotta understand. It doesn't mean I don't like them. It's when I give it the whole. It means it's like super cheesy, really fucking hilarious kind of thing. So.
All right, only one left.
My last one reminds me of Andy when I called him Chris Hansen on the rundown. Why was 6 afraid of 7? 7 is a registered 6 offender.
I mean,
That's-
even if you did 7, 8, 9, that would be great. But 6.
That's a Jimmy joke, Jake.
That's fucked up.
It is, but it's still a little fucked up. So you said why is 6 afraid of 7? Because
Yeah.
He's a registered 6 offender.
Not a sex offender.
A 6
Different
offender,
things.
yes. Oh gosh, I have a few. I'll just choose this one.
6
Okay.
afraid of 7 jokes are just classic.
How does the moon cut his hair? Eclipse it. That was
good.
So stupid.
Are you assuming the moon's gender, Zane?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're canceled. Get out of the house. We're gonna burn it down now. We have to light it on fire.
Arson.
Yeah. All right. My final one. What did the one egg say to the other? You crack me up.
That's a classic.
That's a Wally. I feel like Wally would make that joke as he's cooking eggs.
Oh,
Your father.
It'll be a lot easier to do this for the next time because I was going to think, would Wally say this
Right.
as I'm
that
seeing
was
it?
Right.
Like, yeah, or my great grandpa would have great ones. He would just say like, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And you'd be like, "Why? None of your business." And just simple as that. But it was.
I
Like,
still
hilarious.
think though the goat, my favorite, or at least my goat of dad jokes is. I think I read it like the first ever time we did this segment, so I couldn't use it again, obviously. But it's what did the two or what was it? What the two guys stole a calendar? How much jail time they get? Like they each got 6 months. Like because
I heard
It's
one.
If
so
you would've
dumb.
said that,
I heard one the other
Right.
day that like it was such a waste of my time. I was like, did you guys know that if you see a turtle on a fence post, someone probably put him there? I'm like, dude,
it's like
literal.
no,
Stop it.
no shit.
Jake, who won?
You know, I don't know. I think you all won because you all got the
Yes.
classic in that last
Very
round.
very Gen Z of you to do
that
participation
sucks. Yeah,
come on.
participation trophies.
We need it's participation trophies.
Can
from
I
here
read
on
one
out.
that I didn't say just to see what you would have if you would have?
Do you want me to do the
Yeah.
didn't?
Do it or don't.
Okay, okay.
It's on the
Bonus.
accounting side of things, so it
Oh,
might
no.
go over
Oh
your
no!
head. Yeah, so
an
no.
accounts receivable doesn't. Oh, I'm kidding.
If,
What did the accountant say while auditing a document? This is taxing.
I was gonna say, "Where's my
I
meth?"
deal
No,
with
Oh,
taxes,
gosh.
so I
Make
get
fun of
it.
your
No, I'm not
profession.
gonna lie. A lot of no, they're
I'm
all
trying-
methods, dude. Okay, they are.
I wouldn't
Walter
say
White.
anything. I evade my taxes. I don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
Oh,
Yeah. You know how like Walter White made millions of dollars in Breaking Bad? Yeah, his end customer was just a bunch of accountants.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just live in
yes.
Puerto Rico.
a bunch of
part of
healthcare accountants. No,
That's part of the story they didn't write in. But
that's no. It literally Adderall is essentially. It's really close to meth. So yeah,
yeah,
you're
it's
right.
basically
And everyone I work with is on Adderall. Every
Yeah.
single person. So.
Yeah. Good for your mental health, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, cut the podcast.
All right,
he's getting manic.
All right, Jake. Let's drop the drumsticks for
Jake,
like,
show us the drum fill in. I'm just kidding.
Jake, can you do a quick solo with just those two things for us? All right. Well, now me and TJ Hawkinson both have broken equilibriums.
There is not enough Excedrin in the fucking world.
I can't play football.
Excedrin.
I can't play football now.
My equilibrium.
My equilibrium is destroyed now.
I can go golf though.
Yeah. I can always go play golf, but. All right, folks, that was another episode of It's a Bit. Thank you so much for listening. As always, make sure to go to the website, 10ktakesmn.com, and read the blogs, as well as go to the shop. Like we mentioned, all the Viking stuff is up there. The JJ Gritty hats are coming back. Going to have a larger supply of them this time, probably releasing them right before the season, so be on the lookout for that. Also, go to the listen page, listen to all the different podcasts we have here at 10,000 Takes, as well as the K-Fan Show, 2 p.m. on 100.3 FM or kfan.iheart.com. Thank you so much for supporting us, as always, at 10K Takes. You can follow us on all socials, 10K Takes, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. But
Threads.
This has been Threads is dead.
It's dead.
X.
They shouldn't have named it something that rhymes with dead, because it was eventually going to be dead. The thread is dead. And, follow us on X. And we'll see what that turns into. But thanks so much for supporting It's a Bit and 10,000 Takes, as always, and we'll see you next week.